5 signs that an elderly person may be entering their final year. Subtle warnings you shouldn't ignore. No one wants to think about the final chapter in the journey of life. However, there are times when we must face reality gently, compassionately, and mindfully. This is especially true when it comes to the elderly people we love, parents, grandparents, or spouses who have been with us through the years. They may be in the final stages of life, even if no one says it aloud or is ready to accept it. Yet, their bodies, behaviors, and eyes are quietly whispering important truths to us. Sometimes, this decline doesn't come with a loud alarm. There's no blaring siren, no clear sign that makes anyone jump to attention. Instead, it arrives subtly, little by little, in the way they speak less, eat less, sleep more, and seem to withdraw their souls from the noise of the outside world. These signs should not be ignored, because when we recognize them early and understand their meaning, we can make their final days warmer and more fulfilling, not just for the person nearing the end, but also for those of us who remain. At times, the change comes through the eyes. Eyes that once shone brightly upon seeing grandchildren now appear distant, as if gazing into a far-off memory rather than the present moment. These eyes no longer seek something new. They are simply reflecting on a life well lived. This isn't sadness. It's a unique form of peace, as if they know they've traveled far enough, loved enough, and now it's time to rest. Physical decline is inevitable, but sometimes it happens faster than we expect. A person who used to walk every day suddenly no longer wants to leave their bed. Fatigue becomes a constant companion, even though they haven't done anything strenuous. They start to refuse meals, not because they are disinterested, but because their bodies no longer crave energy. Their bodies grow lighter, not just due to age, but because the vitality within is gently waning. Many elderly people gradually become less communicative. They no longer ask about the weather or recount old memories as they used to. They retreat into their quiet spaces, where old memories become more vivid than the present. And if you listen carefully enough, you'll feel what they are trying to express without words. A quiet goodbye, gentle but profound. Some start to take actions of preparation, even without saying anything. They begin handing over cherished items, giving small instructions, or suddenly wanting to reconnect with distant relatives. These are gestures as if they are closing the final chapters of their lives, calmly and with acceptance. These are signs that, if we are perceptive enough, speak directly from their hearts. I'm ready. Sleep is another reflection of these changes. When an elderly person sleeps more than usual, sleeps deeply but still feels tired, or begins dreaming often about deceased loved ones, it's not just a physical sign. It's a subtle transition between two worlds. Many describe these dreams as meetings, short conversations before embarking on a new journey. It's impossible to predict exactly when someone will reach their final year. Each person's journey is unique, and no two paths are alike. But when someone begins to withdraw from everyday life, when they no longer hold on to worldly things, and when their presence feels as light as a breath, perhaps that is the moment you need to be present with them more than ever. Not to hold them back, but to walk alongside them, to listen, to love without words. The mental changes are also noteworthy. Some become more emotional, while others grow increasingly quiet. They may look at you for a long time, as if trying to imprint everything into their memory one last time. This is their way of saying thank you, their way of expressing, I know you're here. At this time, the presence of loved ones is more important than any medicine. A handshake, a gentle word, a hug. Sometimes these are the things that make them feel connected, still loved, even as they move toward the beyond. Many elderly people don't voice their fears. It's not death that scares them, but the idea of being forgotten, being left alone, being seen as a burden. But when we recognize these subtle signs, we can respond with compassion, with patience, with the intention to make the time left together meaningful. If someone in your life is changing in these quiet ways, don't panic. Instead, be present. Make every remaining moment meaningful. Because no matter when separation comes, if it is embraced with a heart full of love, it's not an end. It's the continuation of a beautiful journey that once took place on this earth. There are days when elderly people just want to sit quietly by the window. They don't say anything, and they don't ask for anything. Their gaze drifts far away, to a place no one knows what they are seeing. Perhaps it's memories from the past, a youth long gone, an old friend, or simply the peace they are seeking to find again. When an elderly person becomes quieter, losing interest in the world around them, it's not necessarily sad. It could be a sign that they are going through their own reflections, preparing for something they feel more clearly than anyone else. A very subtle change is the gradual loss of will or energy to plan for the future. Phrases like, "we'll think about it tomorrow," "leave it for later," or "probably don't need it," become familiar. The elderly may no longer want to fix the roof, inquire about the family vacation, or care about upcoming holidays. This is when their mind begins to release the constraints of time. They no longer count the days. They are living each moment slowly and quietly. Sometimes they become more tearful. A simple word of affection, a tender glance, or an old song is enough to move them. These tears are not sadness. They are a release, a way to lighten the heart, because the things left unsaid, the love they once kept hidden, or the things that remain in their hearts, they are all trying to find a way to be expressed, even if just in silence. At times, they begin to apologize or express gratitude more frequently. These simple words become more common, even without any specific reason. It's not just politeness, it's an unconscious effort to close relationships in a complete way. They want to leave quietly, without leaving anything undone. Therefore, words of thanks, apologies, or even just a tight handhold carry so much unsaid meaning. One of the most touching signs is when they begin talking about being ready. Though they don't say it directly, you can feel it in the way they view everything with calm eyes. They no longer worry too much about health or try to prolong treatment methods. They begin to speak of, if something happens, as a natural thing. They begin to pass on keepsakes, valuable items, not for their material worth, but for the emotional bond. These actions are the gentlest farewells they can offer. As life gradually slows down, their biological rhythm changes. Elderly people may sleep more during the day, wake up at night without any clear reason. They feel that their bodies are no longer in sync with time. They no longer eat at regular times, don't feel hungry, and ask for nothing. Fatigue surrounds them, and they accept it as part of the journey that is unfolding. One profound thing that few notice is the feeling of knowing beforehand that they have. Many elderly people say they feel that they are about to leave. They are not afraid, they simply know. And when they are mentally prepared, the most precious thing they need is peace from their family, silent presence, care without words, and unconditional love. At this time, nothing is more important than being together. No need for many words, no need to try to create anything grand. Just sitting together, holding hands, listening to them recount old stories, or even simply being silent together. Your presence, gentle and steady, is the greatest gift they can receive in the last days of their life. When the elderly no longer care about time, they no longer worry about appearances. They no longer care about nice clothes, their hair, or the little details that mattered before. What matters to them is connection, loving gazes, warm hands, sincere inquiries. These simple things, to them, are everything. Sometimes, in the quiet moments of the last days, they may have unexpected moments of clarity. They laugh, they talk, they seem healthier. Don't think of it as a recovery. It's the final farewell gift, a moment of clarity before silently leaving. Take advantage of these moments to say the things still in your heart. Tell them you love them, that you are grateful for them, that you will be okay, that you will always remember. Life may be long or short, but everyone eventually comes to a stop. When you notice these silent signs, see them as a call from life to slow down, to be more present, and to appreciate more. Because in those fragile moments, love is the only thing that remains, and it's the only thing that can make a farewell peaceful. Life, whether long or short, is a precious journey. When an elderly person enters the final stage of that journey, it is not an end, but a transition into a different kind of peace. The silent signs they show, from gentle glances, soft words, to quietness and letting go, are all ways in which they quietly prepare for the most beautiful farewell. We, the ones who remain, cannot stop time, but we can make each of those last moments meaningful. It doesn't need to be something grand, just a knowing look, a firm handhold, a whisper of "I'm here," is enough to soothe any worries within their soul. When the elderly are ready to let go of the attachments, the most important thing is not to hold them back, but to walk with them, with acceptance, unconditional love, and deep gratitude for everything they have given throughout their lives. In the end, remember that death does not take away a person's presence, as long as love and memories live on in our hearts. And sometimes, it is in the moment of parting that we truly understand what connection means, what a meaningful life is. If you are noticing these silent signs in a loved one, do not be quick to sorrow. Be with them, gently, patiently, and sincerely. Let love become the final language, because that is the most beautiful thing we can give each other, in the last moments and forever after.